find that you're in a toxic cycle, you might start to notice that you feel a lot of shame and disappointment in yourself. That's because toxic cycles create chaos and they pull you from your role. So when you step outside of your role in the relationship, this is where you can act in a way that you never planned on acting in this relationship. So I'm going to give you some simple tips on how to identify your role and keep yourself in it. Hi, my name is Olivia, and I am passionate about helping you understand what relational trauma is so that you can avoid it, heal from it, and overcome it. So today, everything is coming from my book, Have You Had Enough? How to Break Up from Your Toxic Cycle. I will put a QR code on the screen, and I'll also leave a link in the description. So we said before that toxic cycles pull you from intimacy, and they pull you from your role, and they create chaos. And with that chaos, you kind of lose yourself in it, which means you're going to lose the way that you wanted to act, the way that you planned on acting. And from that, you can get a lot of shame, a lot of that disappointment. And it's always building that frustration and that anger and the level of stress within the relationship. And sometimes it can go to the point of breaking until the relationship breaks. So it does happen in romantic relationships, but it can also happen like in a parent-child relationship, in a if you're the parent to one of your, or a child to one of your parents. It could be within friendships. It could be at a working situation. So really any relationship is on the table, because any relationship can find themselves in a toxic cycle. So today everything is coming from page 16 of Have You Had Enough? And we're just going to look at, first, you want to identify what type of relationship is it. Is it parent-child? Is it child to adult? Is it coworker? Is it friendship? So once we have the sort of like title of the relationship down, that's going to help us to identify our role in the relationship. So if it's parent to child, what's my role? My role is parent. Specifically, mine would be mother. So what goes along for me? What do I want to fulfill or achieve in that role as mother? I would want to be a nurturer. I'd want to be a guide. I would want to be a comforter. I would want to be, their biggest cheerleader. So as I'm defining the role and as I'm thinking out, okay, this is what it looks like for me to be in it, I also want to take a second and reflect on, how have I been acting, or how do I act when we get thrown into this toxic cycle? If you go back and watch the other videos, which I will leave a playlist for, it talks about, learning what happens right before the cycle. What are common themes? Is it a day of the week? Is it a certain time of year? Is it after an event? Is it after they've been around certain people or you've been around certain people? There's usually something that triggers the cycle to start again and to occur. And so if I'm looking at this and I want to learn how to maintain my role, it's really important that I start to set myself up and get prepared for when those moments are going to come, instead of just keep on being blindsided by them, because you don't have to be, because remember, toxic cycles have a pattern. So once you identify the pattern, this is where it's so beneficial to be able to interrupt it once you take a look at it. And again, you can find more of that in the playlist. Also, I've created a really simple worksheet. I will put a QR code on the screen that you could just quickly walk through the worksheet and map out your toxic cycle as well as your exits. Okay, so once I have established, what's the relationship type and what is my role in the relationship, and I've been able to write out thoroughly what this means for me. What do I want to look like in the role? How do I want to feel while I'm in the role? And now I've looked at, what have I been doing? What role have I been playing? Maybe I've been acting more like a sibling. Maybe it's looking more like a sibling role instead of a parent-child role. If I'm in a romantic relationship, maybe I've been looking more like someone would act if they were your enemy, or if I were someone's enemy, maybe this is how I would act. Or if I've been acting more like a parent in a romantic relationship, maybe I've been acting more like a child, or because I feel like I'm being put in that role, or I put myself in that role. So this isn't about blame or about shaming you. It's just taking a realistic look at what has been. And now I want to look at, but where do I want to go? How do I want to feel? What do I want this to look like? So again, remember, you map out or write down, what type of relationship is it? What is your role in the relationship? And what do you want that to look like moving forward? Because it's a lot easier when you have a set plan of what you want to look like, how you want to behave, than just to try to do something different or try to get out of the role. It doesn't work. And that's probably been proven to you over and over again if you're in a toxic cycle. They are very disheartening. They're frustrating. It breaks your confidence down. It breaks the love down that you feel between you. No matter what type of relationship, over time you become hardened. And because of that, you just can't take the hopelessness of it. You kind of lose your fight. It's terrible. It takes down your self-esteem. So toxic cycles are so crucial to understand, and it's vital that you understand so you can get out of it and save the relationship that you have, because these are usually found in key relationships we have, like with your children or with your partner or with a family member or with a friend. So it's important to map them out so you can see it coming. And the great news is the other person does not have to be on board for you both to be able to exit the cycle. It's kind of like a dance. You know, every time this event comes up, this person extends their hand, I accept it, we go to the dance floor, and now we have this dance that we do until it breaks. But instead of doing that, I could just refuse to dance, right? I will not go to that dance floor with you, but for sure, I'll do it over here all day long. So if I refuse to dance, if I refuse to engage in that toxic cycle, then we're not going to do it. So it just takes one person to be able to, you know, step back and say, no, thank you, but I'll do this all day long. I will not do this, for you to get out of the cycle. So again, you can find all of this and more from Have You Had Enough? How to Break Up with Your Toxic Cycle. Also, you can grab the worksheet. There is a full course available on my website. Everything is linked in the description. I hope you're finding hope again after maybe feeling so frustrated in your relationship and so very disappointed in yourself. It doesn't have to be this way. Toxic cycles can end. You can find the exits and you can get yourself out of it. And the relationship could get better and you could feel close again. So take good care, and I'll go watch the videos that I'm going to leave on the screen for you, and I'm going to see you in the next one.